Uusi päivä, uudet kujeet. Miksi mä muuten tuun tänne, kun... No, minäkään on nähnyt ketään täällä. Mun viimeinen työpäivä oli, että mä käytin vaan koko ajan siihen, että pelasin videopelejä, niin... Mutta jos täällä ei ole kukaan, niin kuka maksaa mulle rahaa tästä? Siis en mä kyllä vieläkään tajua näitä mainoksia. Kauan tää hissimatka kestää? Musta tuntuu, että mä oon ollut täällä varmaan kuin 10 minuuttia. Eiköhän siinä työpaikka-ilmoituksessa oikeesti edes luke. Voinko olla muista ihan väärin, ettei siellä, että mun pitää pelaa Stanley Parable? Kun en mä oikeastaan mitään niinku muuta voi tehdä täällä. Ja joo, mä tiedän, että täällä on kameroita, niin jos te mietitte siellä, jotka katsoo tätä, niin että kenelle mä puhun, niin mä puhun just teille. Niin kuin normaalit ihmiset käy keskusteluja niin kuin työkavereiden kanssa hississä. Mutta täällä ei oo ketään. Joten mä puhun teille. Tai missä ikinä se kamera nyt onkaan. Okei, no niin. Mun kierros. Mä menen töihin. Mennään pelaa Stanley Parablea. Tai jotain. En mä tiedä.
I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2. Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Wait, mä oon vieläkin hämmentynyt teistä, että onks tää nyt vaan uudelleen release, missä on lisäsisältöä, vai onks tää Stanley Parable 2? Am I being fucked with? Mä oon niin hämmentynyt. The end is never the end. Again. Mä en oo varma, ollaanko me vieläkin confusing endingissä, vai ollaanko me niinku, oliks se vaan yksi juttu, mikä me nyt unohdettiin? Ja mä oon vieläkin tosi hämmentynyt, että onks tää nyt oikeesti niinku uusi peli? Vai ei? Vai lisäsi? I don't know. Mä olen hyvin hämmentynyt. Mut mun täytyy vaan mennä tässä tarinassa eteenpäin, koska... Niin. Mä en tiedä. Offpainting.tg. A for effort. Tää nyt niinku tarkoitus olla se uusi paikka, mistä kaikki on kadonnut. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Building castles in the sky. Just the two of us. You and I. Ovi aukes. New hotness. Tässä ei mitään järkeä. Stanley Parable 2. Logo-ideas.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Sequels are good. Portal 2, Half-Life 2, Batman Arkham Asylum 2, Divinity Original Sin 2, Doom 2, Aladdin 2, Return of Jafar ja Dark Souls 2. Kyllä, mä oon kaikessa samaa mieltä. Mä olen hämmennys. Musta tuntuu, että tää on vieläkin se confusing ending. Tän on pakko olla se confusing ending. Tää ei voi olla niinku... Joo, tää on on the nose. Tää ei oo tosissaan yhtään. Niinku, no joo. Mentiinkö me sen confusing endingin ohi jo? Ja ollaanko me niinku seuraavassa jutussa vai ollaanko me vielä siinä samassa? The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket, Office Decorations, the button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Nappula, joka sanoo mun nimen. No, joo, kyllä. Mistä se tietää mun nimen? Mä haluan tietää mikä mun nimi on. Mä en tiedä mun nimeä.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
No joo, koska mä haluan kuulla mun oman nimen. Name! Everyone's got one. Tiedättekö te, nimet on vähän niinku persereikä ja jotain tulee sen lauseen jälkeen. Okei. Mä olen valmis kuulemaan mun oman nimeni. Kerro mulle, kuka mä olen.
Jim. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is.
Tästä on hauska kaikille, jonka nimi on Jim.
Play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim. Sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble in Jim. Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory.
Okay. Kerro mulle nyt mun backstory. Kerro mulle mun backstory. Kerro mulle mun backstory. Hei, blablabla. Joo, kerro mulle mun backstory.
We're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim. Imagine yourself driving to work as Jim, playing frisbee on the weekends as Jim, staying up all night for popcorn and sleepover as Jim, developing a crippling substance addiction as Jim, rediscovering yourself through fringe religious groups as Jim, and finally dying a slow death at an old age, surrounded by members of your cult as Jim. Do you feel it in your soul? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
Mun kultti.
If so, then
saaks mä oman kultin?
and press the button.
Mä tunnen olevani Jim, jos se meinaa, että mä saan mun oman kultin.
Jim. Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you!
Yes!
Button describes
Se olin mä.
Do it again.
Kyllä. Joo, okei. Jaa! Missä on mun kultti? Missä on mun kultti? Mä haluun rahaa!
Feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation. Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise soon
Anna mä painasta. Dammit, mä olisin halunnut painaa Jim-nappulaa vielä.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
You heard Jim in the game! Please screenshots. Please no screenshots. Google. How to take a screenshot in Steam?
According to PC World, Steam claims that taking screenshots is simple. Just press F12 while in a game.
Okay. Noni, minkäs teet? You! Mä otin siitä kuvankaappauksen. Mä otan tästä kuvankaappauksen. Mä otan tästä kuvankaappauksen. Ja tästä, ja tästä, ja tästä. Infinite hole. Oh my god, täällä on niin paljon contenttia.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Kyllä mä sanoisin, että Happy 12th Birthday.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along.
Okay.
Get Well Someday it is.
Kiitos, että arvostit mun inputtia.
Actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on.
Okei, mä painaan uudestaan sitä nappulaa.
Come now, you've already made your choice. It's true that you chose badly, but we all have to move on from our mistakes.
Mä haluan painaa sitä nappulaa uudestaan. Collect them all. Okei, täällä on collectibles.
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them.
Eli basically kuin joka ikinen muu peli.
Intrinsic joy of watching a number go up, you simply collect all of them and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Oh, that's so creepy. Yeah! Me saatiin Stanley Parable Collectible! Woo! Nice!
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Okei. Tää kormaa nyt mulle sen, että mä en vieläkään oo saanut sitä mun 5 vuoden achievementtia. Mun täytyy vaan mennä tonne, vetää vivusta, mä saan mun achievementin ja sit that's it.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Tarvitaan muuta vaihtoehtoa kuin vetää tosta vivusta. Ei. Vedetään vivusta.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley.
You're a wizard, Harry.
But I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world
Eiks tää oo se sequel?
uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Anna mulle mun achievementti! Mä oon tässä loppupäivä. Mä alan huomaamaan tästä niinku tämmösen toistuvan kuvion. Jatko-osa on aika paskaa.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Niin. On jotenkin semmonen fiilis, että näin toimi.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley
Tää oli
Parable
paras.
2 as
Tää
well.
oli paras osa uutta
Oh, wait.
kontenttia.
You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Siis niinku, ei sitten. Mä siellä edes halunnut hyppiä. Niinku, ei,
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
jonkun pitäis tulla täältä olla silleen, this is Sparta! Katsotaan, kun se menee pienemmäksi.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so.
Tää on kyllä aika,
Now
siis...
then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
Mä oon siis, tiedättekö te, joskus on vaan hyvä olla vapaa pudotuksessa. Kukaan ei häiritse sua, kukaan ei tuu kyseenalaistamaan sun elämän valintoja. Kukaan ei tuu aukoa päätä sun seksuaalisuudesta tai sukupuolesta tai mistään, kuka sä oot. Sä vaan olet ja sä vaan putoat ja kukaan ei, narraattori, shut the fuck. Mulla on monologi kesken. Älä puhu mun päälle. Mä en sano edes mun achievementtiin 5 vuoden siitä. Mä pelaan tätä peliä. Onks sun pakko puhua mun päälle? Kun mä yritän vaan selittää siitä, minkä takia tän... Siis anna mä nyt selitä siitä, kuinka tän putoaminen on tärkeämpää kuin...
Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely?
Minä?
I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great.
Okay.
Now, I'm very oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much.
Mä en voi sille mitään. A hole is a hole.
That's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't
Joku
need to
on
see
vaan
it
niin,
all, but
a
not
hole
you.
is a
Oh,
hole.
No. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before.
Kyllä se vähän hitaammalta kyllä tuntuu.
Make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough?
Mä haluan mennä uudestaan vielä tänne.
Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Mä haluan tietää, kuinka pitkällä tää menee.
That the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability in marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
Okay.
Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, how is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see you scratching the itch.
It's a hole!
Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
Noniin, mä oon valmis. Se ei tee mitään.
Is the, teleport button not working?
Ei se toimi.
Sure?
Ei
Well,
toimi.
I mean, I really don't have an explanation. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Hole is a hole. Mikä se ääni oli? Se pitenee! Se kasvaa! Tää reikä saa erektion! Käänteiserektion! Tuleeko sit vihdoin viimein loputon reikä? Change perspective. Damn. Sinemaattinen kokemus. Kaunista. Tää on niinku kyllä kaunis hahmo. Change your perception. Change your Miksi musta jotenkin tuntuu, että tässä on jotain niinku outoa meneillään? Tää joku tuntuu tässä niinku tosi väärältä. Niinku mä en tiedä mikä tässä joku vaan niinku joku ei nyt ihan matchaa. Tässä on joku pielessä. Okay, press change to change yourself. Oh my god, tää on kaunista. Yes, sieltä tuli error made.
You're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away to dreamland. But we can't have that stand.
Mä nukuin vaan.
This hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them.
Oh my god, sai pitää mua täällä vuosia.
I'll be back.
I'll be back! Rias Orange Bucket! What? Okei, mä käyn katsomaan mikä on Settings World Champion, koska mä oon aika pettynyt tähän peliin siinä mielessä, että tässä on tosi simplified asetukset. Ei pystynyt säätämään mitään ihmeellisempää. Siellä pystyy säätämään, että jos mä panen hiirtä näin, niin se kävelee eteenpäin. Which is kinda cool, jos miettii, mut niinku sen lisäksi ei ole hirveästi mitään. Settings World Champion. No mitä f***a sinne edes pääse? That is some bullshit I say. Mut epilogue.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Niin, mikä tässä on epilogue, kun tässä on niin monta loppua? Tää koko peli on pelkkää epilogue. Wait, oliko se siinä?
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket.
Mut ei tässä ole mitään ämpäriä.
Every time you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true.
Oh my god!
The many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal.
Eli, okei, eli joka kerta...
You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be?
Joo,
yes,
kyllä mä täysin tajun se.
is the perfect solution.
Saaks mä nyt vittu koskea siihen ämpäriin? Oh my god, tiedättekö te, mä oon aina... Siis tää on mun... Tässä kohtaa tulee mun suomalaisuus eniten esille. Mikään ei saa suomalaista jöpöttämään enempää kuin se, että sille tarjotaan ilmanen ämpäri. Mulle voisi antaa Lamborghini, mulle voisi antaa talon, mulle voisi antaa poikaystävän tai tyttöystävän, tai mulle voisi antaa ämpärin. Ja joka kerta mä valkkaisin jonkun muun kuin sen ämpärin. Ei siis okei, anteeksi mä valehtelin. Mä valkkaisin siis joka kerta totta kai sen ämpärin. Kuulostan katkeralta, koska mä en ole vieläkään saanut itselleni ilmasta ämpäriä. Joten tää on nyt mulle merkityksellinen kohta, koska... Mulla on nyt ilmanen ämpäri! Woo!
Can you feel it?
Mä tunnen sen. Tältäkö tuntuu? Tältä tuntuu, kun sä saat ilmaisen ämpärin.
Must already be sweeping through your body. In fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
No joo, kyllä mä sanoisin. Mä ymmärrän, miksi jengi haluu ilmaisia ämpäreitä. Mä hiffaan sen nyt. Mä ymmärrän. Tää on avannut mun mielen.
All this and more awaits you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Siis mä oon niin yllättynyt tästä ämpäristä, että mä en edes kuunnellut yhtään mitä toi meidän narraattori sanoi.
Give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game?
Joo.
That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Siis tää oli ainakin ilmaisin ämpäri videopelissä. Se mä voin sanoa. Lidli saattoi joskus nakkimakkara vuonna antaa ilmaisia ämpäreitä, mutta tää antaa metaforisesti kaikille ihmisille ämpärin. Tää peli maksaa tosin rahaa, mut sinänsä sun ei tarvitse maksaa tästä ämpäristä itsessään mitään. Joten eikö se ole teknisesti silloin myös ilmanen? Mä en ole ihan varma miten raha toimii. Mut minne mun pitää nyt mennä, koska mä oon tietääkseni käynyt kaikkialla. Pitääkö mun mennä?
The Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think?
No, joo, siis kyllä mun on pakko myöntää.
Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Joo, kyllä mä oon samaa mieltä, koska mä en aluksi edes mennyt tajuta, että tää on uusi peli. Joten mä oisin arvostanut aika paljon, ja sitä pelin nimi on suoraan vaan ollut Stanley Parable 2.
Ready to move on now?
Sanoisin, että niinku, mulla on aika konfliktoitunut mielipide tästä uudesta Stanley Parable 2, koska mikään ei toiminut.
So Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Mutta tää on tietysti vähän sama asia kuin Okei, hei, anna mä sanon mun lauseella. Oh
I
my
give
god,
you
please.
the Stanley Parable 2.
It looks like shit. Mut niin, hei,
Well,
miksi...
I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind.
Niin, joo.
Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes.
Mä saan ikin sanoa mun lausetta loppuun.
Much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version...
No niin, näytä meille nyt mitä sä haluat What the fuck are you doing?
Who am
Mitä
I
sä
kidding,
teet?
Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags.
Tän
And I
takia,
do very
kids
much
don't do
enjoy
meth.
creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course.
No niin näytä
With
meille mitä sä
respect,
osaat.
with care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, this is the Stanley Parable 2.
Mä en muista enää kohta mun
Let me
juttu.
see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Saaks mä nyt vihdoin nähdä... Okei, nyt sulla on tarvittu. Mä en oo varma tykkääks mä tästä Stanley Parable 2. Tää on aika creepy. Eikö mä oletan, että täällä olisi asetuksessa jotain ihmeellistä? Kun mä olin sanomassa sitä, että tää peli, se että sanoit, että pelissä on potentiaalia, vähän niin kuin sanois, että mussa on potentiaalia. Kun se ei vaan yksinkertaisesti ole totta. Niin vitun hämmentynyt. Siis mä en tiedä, onko mä vieläkin tässä niinku juonesta messissä vai...
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Wait, aloitteko me oikeesti alusta? Oliks toi tossa?
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 4.
I am confused! I'm so f***ing confused!
Job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427.
What the f***? Siis oliks toi nyt se niinku introduction tähän peliin? Wait! Ei näitä ilmapalloja
All of
ollut.
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Kuinka laaja peli tää on? Meidän ämpäri! Me saadaan se takaisin!
Stanley picked
Yes!
up the bucket.
Yes! Ilmanen! Meillä on 2 ilmasta ämpäriä! Siis tää on jokaisen suomalaisen unelma! MM-kisat! Koripallo! En mä tiedä mitä muut suomalaiset pelaa. Osaako suomalaiset pelaa jalkapalloa? En mä tiedä, mutta kaikki urheilulajit! Ämpärit! Ämpärit on se, mikä tekee suomalaisen susta. Saanko mä pitää tän ämpärin nyt niinku koko ajan?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
Oh my god.
and entered the
That's
door
so...
on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
Yeah,
But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place
Oh my
to
god,
be.
tää meidän bucket on meidän kaveri.
Here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was.
Koska täällä on
How
paljon asioita, mitä mä voin
insightful the
laittaa mun
bucket
ämpäriin.
turned out to be.
Niin, mutta täällä on paljon asioita, mitä mä voin laittaa mun ämpäriin. Onks siellä toisessa paikkaa?
Never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
God damn it, mä en tiedä... Minne mä meen? Minne mun pitäis mennä? Minne mun kannattaa mennä? Okei, mennään tänne.
And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Mä menen tänne. Ei, mua huijattiin s***na! God damn it! Mä en halua vetää sitä alkuperäistä tarinaa uudestaan.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
Niin, siis
Perhaps
oikeesti...
his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you?
Hey,
The aura
hey,
of
hey.
jealousy. It's as
You
clear
broom
as day.
closet.
This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
Sä et saa mun
I
ämpä...
can
Ei.
feel it now.
It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet.
Ei.
That's what the broom closet is
Mä
trying
en
to say
anna,
here.
mä en
It's
anna
supposed
tän,
to go
mä en,
with the other
mä en anna
cleaning
tän
supplies.
homman voittaa
Don't
mun
give
mielipidettä
Don't
siitä, että mun pitäisi
hand
saada mun
over the
buketti
bucket.
takaisin.
I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket.
Ole vahva.
This is your companion and lifelong friend.
Niin, ämpärit on mun ystäviä.
Oh no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially
Mulla on
enticing
paljon
manner?
esineitä mun
Well,
edessä.
I'd never.
Mulla on
Go on,
paljon
Stan.
esineitä mun edessä, mutta mä valkkasin silti ämpärin.
Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Mä kävin kellä paskalla siinä ämpärissä, mä oon pahoillani, mutta se on totta. Oot sä nyt happy?
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet,
Hey,
with all
you,
your
broom closet.
meandering philosophical diatribes about
Mitenkä
the
mun
nature of
mitenkä mun
cleaning
naapurit
supplies
miettii, kun mä
and
huudan
their
täällä vaan
relationship to broom closets in the natural order of
siivouskamara vois
things.
mennä helvettiin. Tuntuu, että tässä ei
All
tapahdu.
right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to snap it on as well because I think it's appropriate.
Noniin. Nice. Kuinka monta tarraa mä sais mä oon täällä?
Also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
Anna mulle
You know
lisää.
what? I could take the name calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Alaspäin siis. Oh my god, mä löysin Stanley Parable Collectible-figuurin.
You found one of them. One of the
Nice!
miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Nice! Mä en malta odottaa, että mä en saa palkintoa.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange.
Eikö mä just ollut tässä huoneessa?
Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley! It's
Missä mun ämpäri?
The
Mä
bucket.
tarvin mun ämpärin!
Could it truly be? He
Mennään
was
hakemaan
forward
ämpäri.
from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his
En mä
special
kävele minkään ämpäri ohi. Ei täällä oo mitään ämpäreitä. Mä näen yhtään ämpäreitä! Oh,
He had to
ei kun
find the bucket. He had to return to his
Mikä on-
old
mikä on
friend.
mun
It
ämpäri?
was
Missä
the
mun
only way
ämpäri?
to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful.
Oh my god, me tukittiin se ämpäri meidän perseeseen!
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What? Wait, what? Hold up.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel.
Tyhmä Stanley. Tyhmä Stanley!
She hugged her own bucket even tighter. Of course, she had no time for this. There were a
Tää on
myriad of confusing problems
tää on siis
she would
dokumentti
soon have to
Suomesta.
confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself. My life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Oliks me menossa meeting roomiin? Mun mielestä mä olin menossa meeting roomiin. Okei, eikä mä tällä kertaa noudatan tätä, mitä tää pelin kehittäjä sanoo. Awaiting input. Input received. What? Mitä taas painaa kaikki juttui uudestaan? Tää on oikeesti mulla lohdutusämpäri nyt, koska mä en niinkun, mä haluun pitää tää ämpäri.
Touched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Oliks mä nyt tänne meeting roomiin, koska mä haluan mennä Mikael Figurine Finders. Täällä on jotain salasta. Mission status. Tässä oli missä loput näistä meidän etsittävistä, kerättävistä jutuista on. Somewhere both red and blue, nearby a fireplace, a private but smelly place for an important person. Gotta collect them, a large room, lot of boxes. There will be a reward for filling a... Mitä? Okei. Hämmennys on vahva. Jatketaan eteenpäin.
Stanley, we must move on from
Okay,
this room
okay.
simply because I
Hey.
have no remaining stickers.
Yo.
If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
Sanoit sä, että sulla on siis tarroja. Tällä kertaa me mennään ylöspäin.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Mitä täällä on? Okei, nyt mä haluan tietää, mitä täältä vessasta löytyy, koska viimeksi me skipattiin tää kokonaan. Yeah!
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This,
We rule!
There really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands?
Ministä.
What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that.
Mikä?
Stanlerine.
Stanlerine. Okei. Mä en sano niitä Stanlerineiksi, mut niinku... Onks täs vessassa nyt niinku... Wait. Tässä vessassa ei legit ollut siis niinku mitään. Okei. Mä luulin, että siinä on sun... Jaa. Okei, se vessa oli siis käytännössä vaan tolle ainoalle, tolle jutulle. Ei millekään mulle. Ja mitä täällä on? Okei, täällä on hissi. Mennään hissillä ylös. Mitä tapahtuu, jos me mennään ylös? Siis kauankaan tää niinku kestää? Koska me ollaan oltu täällä aika kauan jo tässä kohtaa. Mitäs me mennään vielä ylöspäin? Wait, what? Me tultiin tässä samaan paikkaan. Okei. That was... se oli aika ajanhukka. En voi muuta sanoa.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire.
Niin, mut mitä mä nyt... Siis nyt musta tuntuu, että mä menen sitä samaa reittiä. Mä haluan mennä sitä samaa reittiä.
Darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos? It would be with him, always. The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this
Paras
point,
kaveri.
Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Okei. Mut onks tässä nyt niinku muuttunut joku? Oh my god, me löydettiin lisää collectiblea!
To the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by one?
Diddly-dooderoos.
Come to me.
Mä painoin kyllä ylöspäin, mutta sure, mennään sitten alaspäin. Näköjään mulla ei enää valintaa, niin kuin kaikki valintaa viety mut pois.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket.
Niin, mutta siis tiedättekö, mä oon niin onnellinen, että mulla on ämpäri. Mä vihdoin, siis mä koin jonkun niinku, tiedättekö te, syvällisen sitoutumisen tähän peliin tän ämpärin takia. Nyt mä menen takas ylös vaan.
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again.
Cool.
The bucket said nothing.
Okei, eteenpäin. Forwards with the bucket.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door.
Nyt mä menen tänne, yes, mä pääsen vihdoin mennä tänne, mä halusin niin paljon mennä tänne escape-paikkaan.
Had the word
Oh my
escape written on it. The truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Eli jos mä menen tänne, niin mä kuolen. Okei. No, elämä on aika paskaa ja uudet kokemukset kiinnostaa.
Was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
No,
At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Mä oon masokisti. Sovitaan, että mä oon masokisti. Oh god. Missä me ollaan? Okay.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their
Oh god,
demise,
me
Stanley
kuollaan.
reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be.
Ei kun tää bucket on
It puts the
tärkeä.
mind and the soul at ease
Hey.
to embrace the bucket. But what use is a
Okay,
sense of ease
okay,
when you're about to be crushed to death?
joo.
This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Rip Stanley!
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death.
Okay. Me kuoltu. Nice.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Oleks me menossa? Wait, mulla ei enää oo sitä ämpäriä. You are standing at the precise of knowledge. Okei, eli tää on nyt ämpärinäyttely.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Anteeksi, mut mä oon suomalainen ja jos joku antaa mulle ilmaisen ämpärin, niin you. Mä otan mun ilmaisen ämpärin ja se ei oo mitään, mitä sä voit tehdä estääksesi mua. Paitsi tietenkin poistaa se ämpäri niinku tässä pelissä kävi, mut niinku... tää on vaan videopeli. Ei kukaan oikeesti tekisi silleen oikean ämpärin kanssa. Aina oppii jotain uutta. Jos me nyt oikeesti mietitään sitä, niin ämpäri on ihmisille tosi tärkeä asia. Se voi pitää vettä, siinä voi käydä paskalla. Jotain muutakin sillä voi tehdä, mutta mä en oo vielä varma. Oh my god, ne on hirttänyt sen ämpäri. Vai roikottaako ne vasta? Pitäis mä niinku hypätä tohon vai? Mä sanoin, okei. Mä saan otettua sen.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
Okay.
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine.
No,
Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment of fools and ignorance if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as
No, en mä osaa päättää, En mä halua päättää! Se sanoo mulle, että älä paina begin the game again. Mut mun tekis mieli painaa begin the game again, koska mulla on auktoriteettiongelma. Me kuollaan kaikki joskus.
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around.
Oh my god, mitä tapahtuu just 3. kerran jälkeen? Niin mä haluan tietää, mitä tossa tapahtuu. God, tässä on ihan liikaa tavaraa, mä pysyn kärryillä tässä.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Mitä täällä on?
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there.
Okei,
Go to
mennään,
the cargo lift.
mä menen. Jesus Christ. Such a bitch. Siis 5 tonnia sakkoa siitä mä hyppään tonne. Täältä.
You're getting close,
Nice!
Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler Anarines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be
Nice!
different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler Anarines. None of us can.
Nättiä. Onks mulla muuta vaihtoehtoa kuin se, että mä tapaan itteni? Hei, meillä on toinen vaihtoehto kuin se, että mä tapaan itteni. Mitä täällä on? Täällä on jotain uutta. Missä me ollaan? Dialogue, narrator dialogue. Musta tuntuu, että me ollaan narraattorin työpaikalla. Tai jos... No shit, Sherlock. Täällä se äänittää.
Okay, this is day number 295. Take number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes.
Tää on vielä kaikki sitä ämpäristä.
Sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Mitä tapahtuu?
Parhaita.
What the fuck? Mä en varmaan haluuks mä näistä ämpäriä.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Okay.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him.
Yep,
It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Mä voisin hypätä tonne myös, mut mä en hypännyt jostain syystä, koska mä en tiedä miksi. Okay.
In here, said the bucket. Go into this dark room over here. Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Mä en tykkää nyt tästä ideasta, että mun pitää niinku vaan totella tätä niinku... Tää on pimeää. Mä en tykkää pimeästä. Onks mun pakko mennä tänne? Okei.
Now pick up the phone, said. This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and
Oh
his
no.
bucket. Once
Hey.
upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Miksi tää nappula ei tee mitään? Missä me ollaan? Onks tää Stanleyn koti? Ollaan me Stanleyn kodissa. Mut missä on Stanleyn muija? Ja tuotiinko me sille munia? Ämpäri! Ämpäri! Se olit sä koko tän ajan! Oh, mä tiesin! Mitä? Press G to take me to work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Paina Ytä, niin mä mennään takas kotiin.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him.
Kato tuon laatikolla silmät ja suu!
Listen to me.
Voinko mä ottaa sen mieluummin tän jälkeen? Okei, on ämpäri. Mennään takas pari G:tä. Äsken se oli G.
I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Don't listen to the loud man. Okay.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Press G to ignore anyone in your life except for me. Ja.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
Niin. Se on aika reflective. Siis uskoks mä, että sä oot oikea? Joo. Uskon.
Yes, I suppose
Mä
on
haluan
closer
uskoa.
inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid.
Mä
Like
sanon
it
sen...
would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Mä sanon sen ääneen. Siis se näyttää aika pantavalta ämpäriltä. Se on kyseenalainen mielipide, mut hei. Mä uskon mihin mä uskon. Press Z to relive the same day with me over and over and over, okay?
Oh my god, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket? Oh no. I'm having feelings. For the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the
Oh my
bucket
god,
has to
we're gonna
say.
fuck
Do
the
anything
bucket.
it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket,
Mä sanoin
this would
äsken,
be
että se on
less
tosi
confusing.
pantava ämpäri.
Yes.
Hei,
Bucket could
minkä
tell
sille
me what
voi?
to do in this troublesome
Stanleyllä
situation.
on tarpeita. Stanleyllä on tarpeita. Se tarvii romantiikkaa, se tarvii läheisyyttä, se tarvii intiimisyyttä. Ja tää ämpäri on valmis tarjoamaan sitä kaikkea. Miksi sä tuomitset Stanleyn ja ämpärin välisen intiimisuhteen? Mitä se on tehnyt vahingoittaakseen sua? Ei mitään. Ei yhtään mitään. Anna miehen panna ämpäri, jos se haluu. Ei se satuta sua sillä. Oh my god, mä jäin jumiin.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me.
Fuck you.
Give me the bucket,
You.
Stanley. I need
You,
it.
man, tää on
Give
mun
it to me
ämpäri.
now. Give it or I'll...
Go back to work, Stanley. Mitä sä teit sille narraattorille?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Onks kaikki takas normaaliksi?
The cargo lift, yes. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Mä haluan mennä tonne,
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. The bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
En mä tee. Se sanoi mulle, että mun pitää mennä tonne ylös ja mä en mennyt. Anna mulle vähän krediittiä sentään. On mulla oma mieli jollain tavalla sentään.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point.
No, mut...
Stanley, did you think it was okay to bring the bucket here?
No, mut hei.
What if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket?
No.
I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Onks mun pakko mennä? Mä haluun niinku... Okei. Missä me ollaan? Is this a
Now
bucket?
then, I'm going to run you through some test
Okay.
scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple
Okei,
enough, right?
mä oon valmis.
This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket.
Selvä.
Okay, let's begin.
Mä oon valmis tähän näin.
Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Ei oo.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not
What?
an actual bucket.
Okei.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Nyt pisti paha. En muuten tiedä. Sinänsä se näyttää ämpäriltä, mutta kyllä vastaus ei oo.
It is
Ei
a
voi
3D
vittu.
printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
No mut eiks... Okei. Joo. Ymmärrettävää.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Joo.
Correct. This is a bucket.
Okei.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Tässä teknisestä perspektiivistä kattoo, kyllä se mun mielestä on bucket.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I think this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one. Is this a bucket?
Totta f***ussa se on ämpäri!
Correct.
Mä olin
This
oikees!
is a bucket.
Kato nyt! Hei! Ei mä oon tyhmä! En mä oo tyhmä! Mä oon fiksu, mä oon ymmärtävänä, mä tiedän mitä mä teen. Mä osaan vastata
Item
tähän.
6. Is this a bucket?
No ei.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
What?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. Should be around here somewhere.
Siis onks tää ämpäri? On.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket. We both clearly know that a bucket is something. And therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
Mä uskon niin. Mä todellakin niinku...
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
Ämpäri on vaan sosiaalinen
Stanley, I can't keep
konstrukti.
doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with.
Hei, mitä
I'm
vittua?
afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that.
Mut ajattele sitä ämpäriä vaan sosiaalisena konstruktina. Se on ämpäri vaan meidän mielessä. Vaan koska yhteiskunta on päättänyt, että se on ämpäri.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my god, I had no idea. Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news.
Mut mitäs mä haluan olla ämpäri?
Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Kaikki on ämpäriä.
Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket.
Mennään vasemmalle.
To go back to and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Mulla ei siis mitään käsitys, minne mä oon oikeesti edes menossa.
Oh, good Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
What the f***? Ei tää ollut tällainen viime kerralla.
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it. Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Mulla on ämpäri nyt taas. Mulla on ämpäri, sulle ei. Mulla on
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
It's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like
Okay.
this.
Okay.
But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
Implikoit se just, että mun pitäisi antaa mun ämpäri pois? Mä en anna mun ämpäriä pois. Mä en liiku. Mä en anna mun ämpäriä pois. Se on mulle tärkeä ämpäri. Mulla on henkilökohtainen side siihen ämpäriin. Mä en anna sitä pois. Mä en anna sitä pois. En suostu. Mä en suostu antaa sitä pois.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket.
Ei.
That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
Ei,
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
Mä en halua
Can you
antaa.
guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say
Se pois
goodbye
päältä.
to the bucket, and then pop it
Pois
into the
päältä.
machine when you're ready.
Mistä mä saan sen pois päältä? En mä anna sulle mun.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I
En.
don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait.
En mä anna sitä sille,
I can hear
en.
you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable
Niin,
characters?
en mä halua
Well, you
antaa
see,
sitä sille.
if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that
Te ette
it's
saa
really
mun
like
ämpäriä
10
koskaan.
personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet?
Tää
Certainly
ämpäri.
not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
Mä en suostu! Onks tää haloteema?
Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Mut se ämpäri oli parempi. Don't judge me for it. No king shaming.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
Miksi noissa kaikissa ruuduissa lukee nyt The End is Never? Mä laitan ne pois päältä, ne häiritsee mua tosi paljon. Mä en... No se on mistä tää Mutta eiköhän tähän olisi hyvä lopetella tätä jaksoa. Nimittäin musta tuntuu, että meillä on vielä hieman seikkailua etsittävinä täältä. Ja mä en tiedä mitä se edellyttää, että me löydetään ne kaikki. Mutta meillä on vielä tavaraa edessä, mä tiedän sen. Jos sä tykkäsit tästä videosta, muista ehdottomasti heittää tähän videoon peukut. Ja jos sä haluat nähdä lisää mahdollisimman nopeasti, niin kerro mulle kommenteissa ehdottomasti. Ja siihen asti kun mä näen ensi videon parissa, niin jos et sä vielä ilman kanavaa, niin muista tehdä se nyt ja panna samasta kelloa, niin saat ilmoitukset kaikista muista videoista. Mut siihen asti mun nimi oli taas jälleen kerran Ämpäri ja... Mun täytyy mennä hakemaan mulle ämpäri.